Last episode, the revolving door at Wolves continued. We said goodbye to Gonzalo Guedes and hello to a record-breaking signing in Pedro Gonçalves. We squashed some beef with Hwang Hee-chan and sported a fresh new trim as an interesting striking partnership blossomed after kicking off our first European game of the season in style. And today, it's time to resurrect our Premier League form, but first, we're starting out with our first player-agent meeting of the day. Hello, Mr. Adrian. With the signature of Pedro Gonçalves, you convinced a certain tier of players that Wolverhampton Wanderers could be a long-term career choice. Now, I know you're not the most trustful of agents, but I believe 3 of my clients could greatly improve your club, not only with their football ability, but their unwavering discipline, which has become a problem in the dressing room. First is Florentino Luis, a brilliant central defensive midfielder, still young and full of potential and eager to prove himself outside of Benfica. Second is Jose Maria Jimenez, an experienced centre-back who not only is a stalwart, but also a great leader of men that could bring some egos down and bring more discipline. Finally is Thiago Guevara, a young, rapid winger with bags of potential with a chip on his shoulder. I hope you'll consider my prayers. Now, firstly, there can be no doubt that the record signing of Pedro Gonçalves has sent shockwaves through the rest of the Premier League, with many other teams not believing that Wolverhampton Wanderers could capture such a player of such high profile. But for me, not only is it a testament to where we finished last season, but I also think it's a testament to the incredible scouting department that I've got at my disposal to convince him to join the club. And who knows, maybe he was wowed by my new Barnet as well. But with us not having the best start to the new season, with us languishing in 12th place in the Premier League after 6 games played, there can be no doubt that I still need to make some much needed improvements to this squad. I've spoken about my now 31-year-old captain Mario Lemina, who's playing for his Wolverhampton Wanderers future with just 9 months left on his contract, and me potentially wanting to bring in a long-term replacement for him. Could the now 25-year-old Portuguese Florentino Luis be the answer to my problems? As you can see, Everton have already snapped up his signature on this career mode, but clearly the fact that his agent is touting his services across to me, perhaps he is not loving life on Merseyside. Could he be the long-term option? Let's wait to see once I've got a full scout report for him. Fresh off of his new contract at the start of Season 2, Santiago Bueno has had a roller coaster time here at Wolves across this career mode, to say the least. He's given away some absolute howlers that have cost us 3 points, but after being reinstated back into the starting 11, helped us along to a clean sheet and our first 3-0 thumping in the Europa League. Having said that, it always seems to feel like defence is a worrisome area for me, and the fact that we've conceded 7 goals in just 6 Premier League games goes to show that we've clearly got some improvements to do. Could Jose Maria Jimenez be the answer to my prayers? 84 rated, 29 years of age, playing for Atletico Madrid. There is absolutely no doubt he would be a significant step up to the rest of my defence, and with him just having 9 months left on his contract and presumably me being able to pick him up on a bargain deal, it's no surprise to see his agent touting his services away to Premier League clubs, but could he be a very, very interesting option? And finally, after the ups and downs that Hwang Hee-chan has caused me, and the arrival of one Portuguese sensation in Pedro Gonçalves, could the arrival of another on the other side of midfield also be the answer as well? Obviously, you can see I haven't managed to get a full scout report in on him, so I'm just waiting for that to come through, but it seems like he could be a very interesting option for me, fitting into the Portuguese ethos here at Wolverhampton Wanderers, 23 years of age, and it seems like he's got all the sort of physical stats that you need to be a prime winger in the Premier League. And especially with Hwang Hee-chan being under the microscope if he doesn't get 10 goal contributions before the start of January, which at the moment he sits on a big fat 0, it could well see the departure of the Korean, and who knows, maybe the arrival of another Portuguese star. Hello, Mr. Adrian. I am the agent of many top players such as João Felix and Cristiano Ronaldo's. I have a goalkeeper that has told me he needs to step up his game as he feels he's not being challenged as well as he should be. His name is Diogo Costa. He would cost a pretty penny, but trust me, he is unbelievable. Thank you, kind regards, Jorge Mendes. Oh wow, the super agents are even getting involved here at Wolverhampton Wanderers now. It just goes to show the levels that this club is starting to reach. Now, I've spoken time and time again about my concerns with this man Jose Sarr in between the sticks. Ever since the start of Season 1, he's had a couple of good games, he's had a couple of absolute howlers, but now at 31 years of age and just 79 rated, realistically, he's probably not the long-term future. And Diogo Costa, my word, what a statement signing this man would be. Once again, another Portuguese, but at 85 rated and just 25 years of age, he is already a world-class goalkeeper who would add absolute levels to this Wolverhampton Wanderers club. However, with him being such a significant step up from the rest of my players, and is currently not even at the top table of European football at the moment, only plying our trade for the first time in this career mode in the Europa League, as much as his agent might want that Premier League money, I have my doubts whether or not the 25-year-old would actually want to join Wolverhampton Wanderers at this point point in his career. So I've decided to take it upon myself to invite both he and his agent to a nice little spot of lunch to get an understanding as to where his head's at and whether or not he could be interested in joining the Wolves revolution. Now, just in case there's anyone high up in the Premier League or any other authorities in the football game, I just want to make it very clear this has got absolutely nothing to do with tapping up. This is just three friends having a nice little spot of lunch and a nice little catch up. Frustratingly for me though, Costa makes it abundantly clear just where he sees himself and where he sees his future as well. He tells me if he's going to join the club, he wants to join on a long-term basis, but the only way he will do so is if we are playing at the top table of European football and if Wolverhampton Wanderers are playing Champions League football as quickly as possible. He tells me he's got absolutely no interest whatsoever in playing in the Europa League in the long term, and as much as I try and convince him that Wolverhampton Wanderers is ready for his services here and now, he's having absolutely none of it whatsoever. And so for him, it's very, very simple. Wolverhampton Wanderers must qualify for the Champions League, and if they do, he will join the Wolves revolution. It's going to be a tough ask to do this season, especially after such a poor start in the Premier League, and with us wanting to go deep into the Europa League proper and balancing both Premier League and European football. But if we can do it at any point in this career mode, my goodness, what a statement signing this man would be. Now, after dealing with the insubordination from Wang Hee-chan and selling off Gonzalo Guedes in the process, plus getting a fresh new trim to smooth things over, I thought I'd managed to put all the troubles here at Wolverhampton Wanderers behind me. But once again, as I lead the players out for another training session, another staff member hits me with an absolute bombshell that is about to rock the Wolverhampton Wanderers club to its very core. Hi Mr. Adrian, as you may well have heard from a member of staff, Neto seems to have taken a page out of John Terry's book and coerced Ain't Nori's wife to have an affair with him, which has resulted in a training ground bust-up between the two players, and both players refusing to play in the same team as each other. We at Wolves want this issue resolved by dropping one of the players from the team, transfer listing them, and selling the player of your choice in the January transfer window immediately. Well, my goodness, talk about bombshells. I think the entire Wolves community has completely exploded. Now, Pedro Neto seems to be causing me one problem after another right from the beginning of Season 1. From demanding us to get European football, otherwise he wanted to leave the club, to then getting a long-term injury, which could have cost us seriously. But after performing well in the back end of Season 2 and getting a fresh new contract as a result of it, I thought our problems were put to bed. But with him struggling at the beginning of this season, just getting 1 goal and 1 assist in 7 games, and now causing absolute chaos behind the scenes with the rest of my players, just how much longer can I put up with this man's antics? Now, after meeting up with Ryan Ain't Nori, putting my arm around him and consoling him just to see how he's getting on, he has made it abundantly clear he is devastated and he wants Pedro Neto gone out of this club as quickly as possible. However, the problem is that after agreeing a new contract with him at the beginning of Season 2, I know that he does not want to commit his long-term future at the club. In fact, he asked for a release clause in case a big team comes in for him. So whilst the obvious thing might be to get rid of this man Pedro Neto to wipe the slate clean, if I end up doing that and then a big team comes in for Ryan Ain't Nori, he then departs as well, it's going to leave me with a big hole not just on the right-hand side of midfield, but also a gaping hole on the left-hand side of my defence as well. So after meeting up with Pedro Neto to get his side of the story before making a decision, he is claiming innocence, he's saying he's been set up, and he is denying all allegations of an affair, which to be honest has left me in a complete pickle, and now I've got absolutely no idea who to trust. So I think with that in mind, I'm going to have to make them play for their futures at the club instead. We've got 3 games to play this episode, so I think for the first game, I'm going to drop Ain't Nori to the bench in place of Bueno. For the second game, I'm then going to drop Pedro Neto to the bench in place of Wang. And for the final game, I'm going to leave them both out of the squad altogether to see just how well this team gets on without either of them. And depending on the outcome of those games and seeing how we perform in them, I will then make an informed decision as to which one is going to have their long-term future at the club and which one is going to be put on the transfer list and will be ousted in the January transfer window. And we're starting off the first game of the episode away from home against Leicester City. As you can see, a couple of changes to my usual starting 11. Sarr keeps his place in goals. Semedo comes in at the right though. Bueno is partnered by Totti, Gomez, and of course it is the other Bueno who starts on the left-hand side of defence. Lamina, Gomez in midfield, Neto, Gonzalez in the attacking areas behind Dalinga, and Nketiah up front. So we kick this game off and the stakes have just been raised even higher than they've ever been before. We've got fractions in the Wolves camp, we've got players playing for their futures, but still we have to juggle both Premier League and European football this season, as we've now got it with Gomez in the centre of the park, sprays it out to Semedo on the right hand side, flips it into the box, easy in the end to defend against. But it is this man Bueno who's got the opportunity to stake his claim in the starting 11. He will be hoping that he can perform admirably, but with passes like that he's not doing his favours any justice whatsoever. There will be that man Bueno to take the throw, and he gives it to Pedro Gonçalves. Gonçalves, lovely little flick round the corner into the left back Bueno, who cuts into the centre now, looking to make a name for himself, goes into the box, takes it on, it falls to Nketiah. Oh my goodness, Nketiah has blasted it wide from close range. How has he missed from there? He took it down beautifully on the volley. Goodness gracious me, it's a horrendous miss, and I cannot believe it. Into Gonçalves, those two combining well so far. Lovely footwork from Pedro Gonçalves, and he's got space on this left-hand side to drive into. Can he pick out his man in the box? He's just blocked off, though, by the right back, and Ndidi. Bueno, though, plays it back into Gomez. Gomez takes on the strike, drags it wide. Been a good start, though, so far for Wolverhampton Wanderers. At the moment, we are not missing the presence of Ep3 on the left-hand side of defence. I think Bueno has done particularly well as he feeds it back into Pedro Gonçalves, plays it into the path of Delinga with his first real touch of the game so far. Can he? I was trying to play it through the channel. Back into Gonçalves, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be this time. Into Harry Winks, who plays it into the channel, looking for Brozier. Really nicely intercepted, though, by the centre-back Bueno, and Semedo plays it into Pedro Neto. Now he's got the opportunity to try and get an assist, as Nketiah is absolutely taken out by the centre-back. It's only a yellow card. Pedro Neto protests to the referee. I think he's got cause for his protest. Let's check this out. That's a horrendous challenge right through the back of him. How on earth has the Leicester centre-back stayed on the pitch? Well, we've got a free kick here that Pedro Neto has to take, and he has to make an impact in today's game, because he, again, is playing for his future. As Lemina now, another one playing for his future, throws it into the box, but it's cleared away, only out as far as that man Pedro Neto gets on the loose ball and takes it on with his left instead. Goes past one, looks to go past two, does go past two, looks to dink it back into the box, almost gets a corner, but instead it goes out for a goal kick. And Nketiah now into Gomez. Gomez across to Lemina, and Lemina back out to Gonçalves, and that's a lovely ball into Bueno, the left back, with the overload down this left hand side. Once again bursts into the box, looking for the cutback, finds it, and this time Eddie Nketiah is in the right place at the right time and does not make a mistake from close range. He gets his first goal of the game. It's our first goal, it's 1-0. But it all came down to the presence and the willing runner of the left back Bueno in place of Ep3. He's doing himself absolute wonders, staking a claim in the starting 11. And with him laying it on a plate for Nketiah, is he making my decision all that easier? It's Neil for Leicester, though, as they look to strike back immediately right on the stroke of half-time. Brozier, the former Chelsea man, plays it into Harry Winks. It's the first foray, for Leicester City, right into my penalty area of the entire half. But Jose Sarr, who's been under the cosh, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, so far in this career mode, pulls out a very smart stop to keep Leicester City at bay, as they've got a corner right on the stroke of half-time once again. Harry Winks to be the man to throw it into the box, looking for Connor Cody. Jose Sarr gets up ahead of the attackers as the referee blows for half-time. Well, as we begin this second half, it's pretty much been, aside from that little foray at the back end of the first half, all Wolverhampton Wanderers so far in this game, but we've only got one goal to show for it. We have to make a change to that here in the second half, and Pedro Neto is looking to be the man to do so as he drives down the right-hand side, checks back in on his left, looking for an option, finds an option of Mario Lemina, checks it back to Gomez. Gomez keeps the ball alive. The momentum has slightly gone out of the attack, but Bueno now driving back into the box, looking for the cutback once again. It's just too heavy, looking for Nketiah, couldn't control it. Leicester City break away. It's now Marçal down this right-hand side. Lemina comes across, doesn't do a good enough job of challenging, and now Bueno, he's fresh out of steam after bombarding and roaming up and down that left-hand side. Just about puts a challenge in. It's thrown into the box. Gomez clears it away. Not very far, though. Christensen, the left-back, picks it up, plays it back into Harry Winks. It's Totti Gomez who blocks it off. Good defending. Leicester City stepping up their game here at the beginning of the second half. Delinga, though, floats it across over the top into Pedro Neto, and now the Portuguese goes into the box, takes it on himself, checks onto his favoured left foot, looks to line up the strike. The centre-back blocks him off, but the goalkeeper's falls into a smart save. Mario Lemina with the corner. goes into the penalty spot, looks for Pedro Gonçalves, headed clear by Ndidi. It's Bueno though, Santiago Bueno back into Lamina, into Pedro Gonçalves with his left straight at the goalkeeper, still searching for his first Wolverhampton Wanderers goal. Wilfred Ndidi back into Harry Winks. This game really starting to open up here, 70 minutes on the clock. Both of these two teams looking for a goal that is either going to put the game to bed or ignite an equaliser and get Leicester City back on level terms, as Dalinga wins the ball back in a really good position, and Nketiah has the chance to put it to bed, and he does just that. The former Arsenal man with a lovely finish showed the composure that he didn't show at the early part of the first half. He gets a second goal, and surely is that the end here? Well, the praise must go to Dalinga. He was the man that won the ball back high up the pitch, pressing high, doing a wonderful job, fed it into Nketiah, and those two are really starting to form a wonderful partnership up front. One man gets the assist, the other gets the goal. It is 2-0 Wolverhampton Wanderers. Gomez has it once again though as we burst forward, really looking to pile the pressure on and put this game to bed as Pedro Gonçalves goes into the box. He's so desperate for his first Wolverhampton Wanderers goal, showed a little bit of selfishness there. He could have played it across. Perhaps he was getting a little bit desperate there, was the Portuguese. Christensen into Neil. Neil tries to turn away from Gomez. Gomez does a really good job of winning the ball back though. And now the centre midfielder tries to burst forward. He's looking for someone to play the ball to. Looks down the channel into Nketiah. Nketiah tried to play it into Pedro Neto. Good interception and good defending from Christensen. Leicester City look to the clock, as does the referee, who blows for full time. A solid performance and a comprehensive win here at the King Power Stadium. We never really looked like we were in trouble. That man Nketiah put the woeful miss of the first half behind him to get 2 goals to seal the victory. As a full time it finishes here, Leicester 0, Wolves 2. It's just what the doctor ordered to get this Wolves team back on track. It's lifted us back into the top half, now in 10th place, and given us back a little bit of momentum that we needed. But that doesn't tell the full story. Eddie Nketiah, his 3rd goal in 5 Wolverhampton Wanderers appearances, his first 2 goals in the Premier League for the club, and he's really starting to find his groove. It looks like he's starting to form a wonderful partnership with this man Dalinga, who too has got 6 goals in 8 appearances. Have we found the attack that's going to unlock defences? The biggest talking point for me though was the performance of this man Hugo Bueno. He's had to bide his time as the wonder kid from Spain, with him not really getting a look in last season, but now he's finally had the opportunity to show what he can do. He scored a goal last season when he came on for Ryan Ait-Nouri. He's got an assist this season in his first start of the campaign, and it does in fact raise some question marks about the future of this man and whether or not we can do it without him down that left-hand side of defence. And it's now time to see if we can do the same thing, this time without the presence of Pedro Neto, as we travel to Selhurst Park to face off against Crystal Palace. And once again, there is a couple of enforced changes to my starting 11 due to a little bit of fatigue creeping into the squad. Sarr keeps his place in goal. Hickey's back in at right back. Bueno is partnered by Marmo, who, as you can see, I'm probably going to have to take off midway through the game. Ait-Nouri comes back into the defence. Lamina and Gomez partner each other in midfield. Hwang comes in on the right-hand side of midfield with Gonçalves partnering him, and Dalinga is partnered by Jorgen Strand-Larsen due to Nketiah's fatigue as well, who drops to the bench. But it's Eze for Palace to get us started here with Franca on the left-hand side. Plays it back into Jefferson Lerma, who tries to go past Aaron Hickey, but the right back puts in a good challenge and then loses it. That is really good play from Jefferson Lerma there to get past a couple of players, but Yao Gomez with a thumping challenge, and now Dalinga can bring it out of midfield here, and it's our first foray into the Crystal Palace half, and the Dutch international just drives down this left-hand side. Wonderful run here, all the way to the corner flag, checks back into Pedro Gonçalves, shifts it onto his left, into the box, looks for the cut back into Strand-Larsen. It's bundled around like a pinball inside the penalty area, and eventually Crystal Palace just about managed to clear their lines, but Marquez under pressure here from Wang Hee-chan. Everyone is just pushing forward for Wolves, and that is a wonderful defence-splitting pass there from Anderson at the back, and now Eze from back to front, has gone all the way now to my corner flag. This time it's Ait-Nouri who comes across with a challenge. Sorry, it was Mika Marmol. I thought it was Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri nowhere to be seen. Perhaps he's still reeling from the news at the beginning of the episode. Aaron Hickey brings it forward into Jorgen Strand-Larsen, who's just dropped off to try and get himself involved in the game. Struggled a little bit here in Season 2 to find his way into the starting 11, and his struggles continue in front of goal as Jefferson Lerma, who's had a really good start to the game, releases Bard down this left-hand side. Richards, though, for Crystal Palace. They go back right onto the edge of their half, over to that man Anderson, who plays it forward into Eze. Everything seems to go through the Englishman so far. Nemecha now for Crystal Palace. Alta Munoz on the right-hand side. I know from my former Crystal Palace career mode just how how influential some of these players can be. And Ep3 though, wonderful challenge, showing exactly why he still remains the best left back at the club. Pedro Gonçalves into Delinga down the channel into Jürgen Strand-Larsen. This is his opportunity to burst into the box. Marquet comes across. What a save from the goalkeeper. Aaron Hickey for Wolves turns it round the corner into Hwang Hee-chan. Back to Delinga down the channel back into Hwang, desperate to try and improve his performances and fight his way back into the Wolves starting 11. Delinga can't do anything though. Crystal Palace absolutely rock solid at the back so far in the opening 45 minutes. It's Aaron Hickey now into Jürgen Strand-Larsen. Strand-Larsen plays it back to Bueno, and Bueno tries to play it back into the channel, into that man, Jürgen Strand-Larsen, who looks around the corner into Hwang, who gets himself involved at the beginning here of the second half, drives into the penalty area, looks for the cut back into Delinga, and he finds the cut back. He gets an assist, and Delinga has managed to keep himself onside to give us our first goal of the game. Delinga once again getting himself on the score sheet and getting himself involved. That is a lovely finish, just dinked it over the top of the goalkeeper from close range, but the plaudits must go to Hwang. Hot off the heels of an absolute shambles at the beginning of this season, he's got himself back in the starting 11 this game in place of Pedro Neto. As I celebrate with my fresh new trim, he gives us an assist as Delinga gives us our first goal of the game, 1-0. Adam Wharton for Palace into Lucas Nemecha. Out to Eze, who goes back into Mark Gay, who seems to be playing on the right-hand side of defence there, as Eze has it once again, gives it this time to Munoz. Munoz tries to go past Ep3, a crunching challenge, he gives away a free kick in the process. Delinga has it once again, under a bit of pressure, but wriggled away from that pressure, and now Hwang into Aaron Hickey. Look at the space he's got to burst into here, does the right back. He's got absolutely no one challenging him. Can he find a ball into the box? He can, looks for Delinga, lovely header, oh, it's just wide. That was the chance to put the game to bed, a lovely cross, just a little bit too high. Delinga on his heels, trying to head it down backwards. It was a wonderful header. He's absolutely gutted he couldn't put it in the back of the net. Jefferson Lerma out to Eze. Ep3 caught out of possession and out of position here as he's frantically trying to come back to put a stop to the Englishman's attack, but he doesn't do a good enough job. Nemecha now onto the edge of the box. Bueno comes across, back in the starting 11 once again, showing me why it's the right decision to put him there, as Delinga now has the opportunity to release Hwang, and Hwang has the overlap of Aaron Hickey. He's just waiting for the run. He finds the run, and now Aaron Hickey bursts forward here, checks back onto his right, looks for the ball into Delinga. It's well read though by Anderson. But it's Mario Lemina who intercepts, and the captain, of course, playing for his future here at Crystal Palace as well, bursts into the box. Oh, he puts it wide. It's Elise now on as a substitute for Palace. Bueno though with a wonderful challenge, plays it into Hwang, who once again has picked up a lovely pocket of space, and that is a wonderful run and a wonderful ball into Rooney Bargi on as a substitute. The young man into the box. Oh my goodness, that's a horrendous strike. But it doesn't matter because the referee calls time on what is another absolutely electric end-to-end affair here away from home, as once again we claim a much-needed 3 points. A fabulous performance by this man Hwang, back in the starting 11, showing the Wolves faithful just what he can do. As a full-time it finishes Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 1. It's another 3 points in the bag, and hot off the heels of that win and another few games in the Premier League, we've lifted ourselves up to our spot last season, 5th place. We're level on points with Liverpool in the final spot for the Champions League. The biggest talking point has got to be the performance of this man Hwang, back on the assist sheet after a wonderful performance, a man of the match performance. He's showing that he's a man on a mission. Has he got enough and what it takes to make sure he hits his target before the January transfer window? An area of concern though is the performance of this man Rayan Ep3. Is his mind elsewhere? He committed a couple of fouls, was non-existent going forward, it must be said, didn't offer us the same forward thrust that Hugo Bueno did on his start in the last game. And is Rayan Ep3 already seeing his future away from Wolverhampton Wanderers? Time will tell. But now we're going to see the impact if I decide to cut my losses and get rid of the pair of them as we head back to the Molineux, this time to face off against Newcastle for our very last game of the episode. As you will see from my starting 11, all of my players are back fighting fit, but you can see there are two major changes to the starting 11. Bueno comes in on the left-hand side of defence. Hwang, of course, retains his place on the right-hand side of midfield. There is no sign of either Ep3 nor Pedro Neto on the bench. They're both dropped, and we're about to see what life is going to be like if the two of them depart in January. Bueno to bring it out of defence and almost runs himself in a little bit of bother, but manages to get away from it and managed to just wriggle past 3 players. This is unbelievable stuff here from the centre-back. Full of confidence now after getting back in the starting 11. Throws it across to Pedro Gonçalves, who volleys it down. In the end, it was a good save from Nick Pope, but what an electric start. There's Alexander Isak who picks it up in a lovely pocket of space. Lovely ball into the channel to Anthony Gordon, who plays it on to Almiron. Newcastle open my defence up at will. well, and they say thank you very much inside the opening 15 minutes, 1-0. Well, we were caught cold there of that, there's no doubt. Mika Marmo undone. Lovely, though, from Anthony Gordon. That is the pass that completely opened up the defence. Caught me totally unawares. Jose Sarr in absolutely no man's land. My defence all over the place. What on earth was the goalkeeper doing? He dove underneath it. I can't believe it. Newcastle lead 1-0. Mika Marmo now out of defence. Almost runs himself into bother, but manages to get past the defenders. Goretzka, though, now applying his trade in Newcastle with a wonderful challenge, but it's Pedro Gonçalves who picks it up again. That's a lovely ball into the channel. Lamina now into Nketiah. Nketiah is offside. It's Max Kilman, the former Wolves man here, the first man to depart the club at the very beginning of Season 2 in the Newcastle United starting 11, and oh, how I'm sure he will be in the mood today to try and get a goal and a good performance on his return back to the Molineux, as that is lovely play from Wolves. They've opened up my defence at will once again. We just couldn't get the ball off them. This time Jose Sarr does make amends for his earlier howler. And Newcastle United have a corner here. Gordon's going to take it, throws it into the box. Looking for that man Kilman, who does manage to head it down. It's, oh my word, clattered away in the end there. But Sven Botman is the man who picks up the scraps. He's fighting with Delinga, manages to get past him. And Sven Botman manages to get past Aaron Hickey as well. Santiago Bueno, though, with a lovely chest down. And Delinga now can try and bring this one away. He's got acres of space to run into, but no one offering any sort of options. But he's just going to go in alone. He's got the beating of Joe Linton. Can he try and cut it back into Nketiah? He can. Sven Botman, though, lovely defending to trap back. Nketiah wins the ball back, though, and now Gomez into Lamina. Lamina takes on the strike. Easy in the end for Nick Pope. Mario Lamina has it, though, once again, but loses it in a really good position. Alexander Isak out to Bruno Guimaraes, and now Newcastle playing really good football, showing at the moment that we are really struggling without two key men, as it's absolutely clattered forward. Nketiah tries to get on the end of it. He hasn't got the speed to beat Nick Pope, though. Well, we're 45 minutes down, and we are 1-0 down here at the Molineux, at home, and Newcastle, it's got to be honest, have been the better of the two teams. They've carved out the better opportunities, and they've been well worthy of their 1-0 lead. But we can count our lucky stars that it is just 1-0, and we still have the opportunity to get ourselves back in the game here in the second half. Max Kilman chased down by Nketiah, but released the ball just quickly enough so he didn't get challenged. It's Robertson now. Andy Robertson, formerly of Liverpool, plying his trade now at Newcastle as Hwang Hee-chan comes across with the challenge. Does do a good enough job of winning the challenge, but Robertson has the throw, dummies the throw, plays it into Anthony Gordon, but in the end Hwang manages to win the ball back. Oh my word, we're playing with fire there at the back line, but Mika Marmo brings it clear and gives it away in a dangerous position to Almiron. The Spaniard's been a little bit off the boil today, and Almiron into the box. Jose Sarr nowhere to be seen in between the sticks once again. And now, once again, Newcastle get their second goal of the game. Almiron gets his second, but it's just too easy for them to waltz through my defence. We give it away in a dangerous position, and Almiron, unchallenged, it wasn't even into the corner, it was almost straight down the middle. Jose Sarr, let's look at the replay from this angle. Oh, the goalkeeper, he's got to do better from there. He's almost dived in the, well, he's not dived straight. Instead, he's dived away from the ball. Horrendous goalkeeping. Eddie Howe doesn't care. Newcastle lead 2-0. It's Almiron now down this left-hand side, opened up at will defensively once again. Guimaraes tussling, manages to release Joe Linton down the right-hand side. Robertson's across, this time Aaron Hickey just about does enough to win it back. Hwang Hee-chan now has the opportunity to burst forward. Can he try and find a ball down the channel into Eddie Nketiah? He can. What options has Nketiah got, though? Does a good job of holding it up and does a good job of skipping away from the challenge of Max Kilman. Hwang, though, plays it back into Gomez. Gomez into the box. The centre midfielder drags it wide. Back out to Hwang. Hwang short into Delinga, who's come deep to try and get himself involved. Aaron Hickey bursts past one player, bursts past two players, throws it into the box, looks to the back post. It's a poor ball. Gonçalves nowhere to be seen. Then Botman now plays it down into Anthony Gordon. Lovely stuff. Joe Linton has it, but Bueno comes across trying to challenge. Doesn't do a good enough job. And Robertson now to burst down the left-hand side. Once again, Aaron Hickey, though, with a really good challenge. And now he can bring it forward. Can he try and play a ball into the strikers? He does play a ball into Jürgen Strand-Larsen on as a substitute. Bursts into the box to Strand-Larsen. Tries to play it back across unselfishly. He could have taken it on himself. He decided not to. Perhaps that just shows a little bit of lack of self-confidence after struggling to find the back of the net and losing his place in the starting starting 11 to Nketiah. That was a big opportunity for us to get back in the game. We didn't take it. We get a corner. We play it into the box. We don't manage to win it, but we do play it back in again. Lemina, though, is blocked off. It's headed down into Hwang. Hwang looking for a shooting opportunity. Takes it on his left. Blocked. Another corner. Starting to pepper. The Newcastle goal. Lemina once again. Another corner. Throws it in. Looking for Gonçalves. Headed away by Shah. Only out as far as Gomez. Lemina has it, though. And now he plays it back into Gomez, the central midfielder. Out to Hwang. What options has he got on the left-hand side? Finds Pedro Gonçalves. Gonçalves can't go past Livramento. And the attack breaks down once again. And with the referee calling time on the game, my players look to the skies. We know we have been well and truly beaten here at the Molineux by the better team over the course of the 90 minutes. We had our opportunities, but we were undone by absolute brilliance from this man, Miguel Almiron. As a full-time era finishes, Wolves 0, Newcastle 2. We missed the defensive solidity that Ryan Ait-Nouri offers us down that left-hand side. We missed the craft and guile that Pedro Neto offers us on the right-hand side of our attack. And it just goes to show to me that if we are going to lose players in January, we cannot afford to lose the pair of them. Bueno's good, but is he ready to take up the mantle that Ait-Nouri potentially might leave behind? Hwang had one good game this episode, but potentially his demons are still hanging over his head from the start of Season 2. But with both of these young men still refusing to play together in the same team, I have an absolutely mammoth decision to make. Which of these two players is more valuable? Is it the wonder kid Ryan Ait-Nouri, who could be the future of Wolverhampton Wanderers, but at the same time, with him failing to commit, he could also be subject of big bids from some European teams? Or is it the attacking creativity of Pedro Neto? Yes, he does offer us another dimension to our attack, but he has caused me no end of problems across this whole career mode. Do I cut my losses with him and get rid of him? Or do I consider getting rid of Ryan Ait-Nouri instead? Let me know down below in the comments how you would handle the situation and which one of these two players do you think I should get rid of in the January transfer window. And of course, scouts at the ready, because if I do get rid of one of those players, I've then got a whole host of players that I need to potentially replace them with. So let me know once again down below who you want to see in a Wolverhampton Wanderers shirt in the start of the January transfer window and ahead of the final 6 months of Season 2. Thank you once again for watching. That will be the end of today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.